Hi there, everyone. It's me again. I wanted to give an update because we're next week, or after the week that's coming now, it's going to be a spring break already for the spring term, which means we've been busy doing our stuff and so forth. And I wanted to give you guys an update of where I am, what I'm doing, and so forth. I've done a couple of flights so far. It's a little bit annoying, but the weather interfered with most of the flights. I have 6 flights that I've got to make up, which I know some of you were looking forward to the flight videos, but they should be coming. I'm having to fly with a different instructor for those because the one I fly with normally is fully booked. So I got in contact with another instructor that my current instructor forwarded my phone number to someone else who could fly with me. And I start making up flights this week, hopefully. It's going to be early. But every day this week I'm going to the airport, which is kind of funny. I have the math class on Monday and Wednesday too, but I have to go to the airport basically. Monday, 8 a.m., I have a flight to make up. And then in the afternoon, I have the math class. Then Tuesday, I have to go to the airport at night for night class. Just for this week because of family obligations, the night got switched. For Wednesday, 8 a.m. again, I have a flight in the morning and math class in the afternoon. Then Thursday, I have a job interview in the morning. Hopefully, something happens. But I won't get my hopes up. I'm not going to say anything about that because I really don't want to get my hopes up, and I don't think anything is going to come of that, but I'm going to try nonetheless. But in the afternoon, between 1 and 3, I have my flight, unless the weather interferes. And Friday, again, I have a flight. I almost... I was tempted because the person that's helping me make up flight, one of the times that they offered me would have been directly after the flight on Friday. So I would have had 2 flights in a row, which I don't know if it was a good idea or not. I wish they would do them on the weekends, but they follow the college hours and they're not open Sundays and Saturdays. Well, they're not open Sundays as far as I know. But and then next week, and then the following week is spring break. I'm gonna tell him that if he doesn't mind, I have no obligations. I have no. I don't mind flying to make up the flights. Because I should have been at the stage 1 flight by now. I should have been solo. But because I'm behind 6 flights, I'm not. First of all, the reason why I'm holding the knee board is because I kind of came up with my own like a little stuff to write down. Though I have to give credit to Aviation 101 because his video on pilot shorthand, and he shows his pad that he comes up with is good, and I like it, but and I'll probably be using that when I start doing cross country flights. But the thing is, for stage 1 private pilot, you're not going anywhere except to the practice area and back again. And I took to heart what he said, that the people learning to do instrument flight have a hard time writing notes down because they didn't start writing down notes during VFR flight. So I've been doing that since flight 1. I've been writing down everything that the ATC, the A.A.S, and everything like that. And one of the things that I noticed that slows me down is having to write the names of next to each other. I know I probably shouldn't have done that. Like I should have just wrote Gabe, time, Dubois, da 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 da, and know what they mean. But I the control freak in me likes to have everything labeled and situated, so I know where they go everywhere. So I came up with my own kind of pad. Um, this probably would be good. I mean, so far it's good for just stage one. I don't know about stage two when you do cross country. We're probably going to need that because you're going to need the other ATC and clearance and stuff like that. But I have a section at the top for the frequencies to write in. The only one that's already in is the emergency frequency 21.1. And then just as a reminder, I have the fee speeds at the top. I mean, yes, you're supposed to have them memorized, and I kind of do, but I just in case. I have the departure frequency for us. There's only two for Allentown, Gabe. But this one, the 119 point, what is it? I almost have it memorized. 6.5 is for below and at 3,000. The CTAF is flight services, and the one underneath that's receive only. Then I have the tower and taxis and all the other frequencies. And then I already have Gabe listed. And then when I listen to the A.A.S, I write in each section. And because it's already there, and yes, I kind of stole this format from the for flight card. I didn't need three of them like they do. I just needed one. And then for the runways, I put the runways that have A.A.S, the instrument landing system, with the frequencies. And then when they told us to expect which runway, I put a check mark next to them, so I already have it listed, so I know which frequency to use. When I look at the start of the day, I had this all wrote out for Friday before ahead. It was before I knew the flight was going to be cancelled, and then I looked on at the airport information TAF, the terminal area forecast. So I knew, and I wrote in the remarks what to expect for the weather at such and such. And then when you get the clearance from ATC, from the closed delivery and taxi, not everyone in stage one is going to have clearances. It's just for us because we fly out of Charlie airspace, so we contact clearance to get a discrete code and to be able to go to our practice areas because we're kind of well protected. We're not exactly in a pilot controlled area, so it's a little bit more involved. We got a little bit more of an umbrella. And then at the bottom, when we return from the practice area back to the airport, I have the information to put the A.A.S in, and the same again. But I'm gonna probably add the in route and other information. Like it's I kind of combined Aviation 101's pad and for flight together, and just pushed it together and made it for what I need for my particular flights. But it's been helpful. I mean, yes, I was using like a pen and paper, like a notepad, and then I was using ForeFlight as well. But this I've found so far to be handy because you gotta be quick. Because the people on the radio talk fast, and So while I'm still writing out the headers and everything, they already said it. So this has it done, and it helps me. But so if you, of those of you who saw the video, you may recall I showed you the Jepson, I showed you the first lesson, and I showed you all the lessons that I needed to do. Well, it looks a little bit different now because we are at the end of stage 1. So let me show you what that means. I hate that graphical interface. So I now have completed on almost, like, all of that was in progress or registered, not completed, like that. And we are now at the end of stage 1, and it's stage 2 is all weather, and I already completed the first one because we had to. We were supposed to, the class that we had, the exam, we were supposed to start talking about GL17, but he didn't keep us. So flight 08 is a review for solo. Flight 9 is review for solo 2, and then flight 10 is first solo, and flight 11 is stage 1 check. So that's where I should have been with my flights, but like I said, the weather has interfered. I've only flown 6 times so far. So Monday will be my 7th, so I'll be doing, I guess, this particular flight. And then Wednesday, hopefully I can start doing this. Regarding my actual flying, I've covered turnaround of points. We covered slow flight. We started doing stalls and stuff like that, like pitching to 65 and choosing to fill like emergency descents and emergency landings. That I'm not that good. We did 360 turns. I realized the importance of scanning. Like, you've got to be able to, with VFR flight, visual flights, you have to spend 90% of the time looking outside the airplane and only 10% at the instruments, and I wasn't doing that. As soon as I started doing that, the turnaround of points became almost instantaneously better. Like, I was looking outside, checking the instruments 1 second, looking outside, and as soon as I knew where to focus, it was good. The landing, I've been practicing on X-plane as well as in the air, because I can do the pattern. I can get up, do the crosswind, and I can do the downwind, base, and final. It's just choosing when to do the flare up to land. My instructor was like, choose the landing point further away from the edge of the threshold of the runway. That sometimes helps. But yeah, all of this was stage 1. So if highlighting may help some people, but yeah, all of that was stage 1, and then I had to study it all. I printed out all the notes, and then I went to each of the quizzes, and click on the review, and clicked on show details, clicked on incorrect, and I printed out each of these pages and I was reviewing and studying every single page and like going through all of this, because unlike all the other lessons, like he hit it right on the head before we started the exam. We gotta stop thinking like that this is any other college course. This is like a technical skill. We're learning a skill for a job. Oh, pardon me. So, and all of this stuff that we're learning, we have to remember. We can't just brain dump. Yeah. So as soon as I do flight 7, I'll be done with this. And with my climb, it's been okay so far. There was only like one blip that I messed up on the test. I need to send this to my instructor. In fact, he asked us to send this. I haven't done it yet. I need to. But it was the third one. I got a 62 out of 62 questions correct, and it was a 77%. You need 80 to pass. C means see you later in this. It doesn't mean pass. Currently, my average is 81, which is good. You need a B average. Climb was actually a little bit harder than the Jepson stuff, but the one second. I have to be careful because there's sensitive information. So 1 second. What I was trying to say is that I kind of want to make this public and like formally say that the people at Jepson, a bunch of evil, manipulative people that must be really, really evil, because they were asking the way that they ask questions is very open to interpretation, and unless you know exactly what they mean, you're gonna end up getting the question wrong. And a lot of the questions were BS like that because it could be open to anything. Okay, here it is. Alright, let me turn that off. And this. Okay, so the question, one example of this is this particular question. When approaching an airport with an operating control tower, you must contact the tower before entering the what? And it shows you, I got that correct, Class D airspace. Now, the first time I was like, for us, we're in Charlie airspace. We take off and fly in Charlie airspace. And when we approach, ATC hands us off to the tower before we enter the traffic pattern of the airport, before we come into land. So I was going to say airport traffic, and in fact that's what I did the first time. and I got a 79% out of it, and then I had to retake the test. Um, it doesn't say clearly when approaching an airport with an operating control tower, you must contact the tower. It doesn't say what you're doing. It doesn't say what airspace. It doesn't say what airspace. Um, it means that you're like on a cross-country flight. You're flying to a D-class airspace. You're flying 1200. You're not. You don't have anything with ATC. They are just you're in a dead zone between the radio things. So what you do before then, and it does a really poor job of saying that in the question. The explanation it gives, unless otherwise authorized or required, you must establish and maintain two-way radio communications with ATC prior to entering an AO with an operating control tower. This airspace, which is classified as Class D, usually extends up to including 2,500 feet above the surface of the airport. Lateral dimensions with a circular area radius of 4 to 5 nautical miles are common, and approach and departure extensions may exist, which is all fine and good, but they needed to make it clear that we're flying on a cross-country flight. What do you do before operating? When approaching an airport, when do you contact the tower? Then I would have known clearly before you enter the D-class airspace. Not, oh, we're already talking to ATC, they handed us to the tower. We're already talking to air traffic control. So I was thinking that we were already in the airspace. ATC has handed us off to the tower on the way to landing. So that's why I picked that. So Jepson are a bunch of evil, manipulative people, whoever came up with those questions. I'm not kidding. They're a bunch of evil sods. Now this last bit is something entirely optional. I only wanted to explain a couple of things. People were asking me what to get me for my birthday, so this is like for my people that know me, that and relatives. But of course, if anyone wants to donate, by all means, you're more than welcome. This is a yoke mount, so I can have the iPad before flight on the yoke and be able to do everything on the knee pad still and not be cluttered. If people are wanting to hear the audio of ATC, the radio, this is what I'm going to need. You can get it directly from Night Flight. And Flight can. So it's a little bit cheaper here. But this allows you to plug that part into the camera, this part into the plane, and you connect your headphone to this, and then you're supposed to be able to hear and record the audio. I don't know why it's so more expensive, but I think that includes the shipping. So it's roughly the same price. It totals the shipping after you've done it. This aviation handheld is a portable VHF radio. This is a personal safety item for me. For me, it's gonna keep me calm and not worry. This is for for me, it's going to be for cross-country flights, day or night. If you have a radio failure and you can't talk to the ATC or to the control tower for whatever reason, instead of searching to 7600 and having to use the light beacons, I would have that with me, and I would be able to talk to them and say, hey, my main radio on the plane is failed, I have this handheld, and talk to them normally that way. Or I would have, if I have a passenger with me, I would have them talk on the radio and say, hey, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, this is a personal minimum item for me. That's the only thing that's really, 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 really need it, because I don't feel safe flying without one. This is the only luxury item, and I don't expect that anyone to ever get it. This is the non-Bluetooth aviation headset for Bose. You probably see my instructor wearing something similar to that, and all the others. But my headphones are good. Are good for now, for what I need them. But yeah, that's the only luxury item. So, okay. So yeah, that's where I am now. It's 1 week to go before the end of spring break. It's February 29th, so if there's any single ladies walking around, be careful of them, because they can ask you to marry them today. It's a leap day. Traditionally, it's the day that women are allowed to propose to men without any social feedback. And yes, if you haven't noticed, or haven't seen already, I have my student card. This is what the iCara thing is all about. You get this sent in the mail. You can't do solo flights without this. You have to have it. You can't go flying. And just so people know, I have my AOP membership on the back. It's not sponsored by AOP, this video, but speaking of the AOPA, tomorrow is the last day for priority consideration for the scholarship. So if you haven't done so, you have until midnight tonight to get that in on AOPA, to be considered for the scholarships. I have my application in, and I sincerely hope that I get something, but I don't know, because anything would help. I got my college tuition for the term sorted out. It was never simple. The college made me sweat right until the last minute. They originally lost the $4,000 that I paid them, but it showed up in their bank account, so they're happy. And then when the loan money got dispersed, they changed the amount on me, so it went from having paid everything zero. They sent out a bill saying, I owe $1,500, and I was like, no, I don't. I just gave you $4,000. What's changed? So I went to the offices and sorted that out, and now they changed it yet again to them owing me $1. So you can keep the dollar. Obviously, you guys need it more. The private pilot kit still hasn't been sorted out. I have it. I have the box. I have everything. But the testing supplement is on back order. The store sends out weekly emails and is trying to get that before the end of class. I mean, we've already had one exam. Apparently, we didn't really need the testing supplement for this stage 1 exam, but we're going to need it for stage 2 and 3. I mean, I did go and complain about the store to people. I lost all patience with them, and I went to complain. I mean, we're entitled to, so let's just put it this way: they are aware of my dissatisfaction with the service of that bookstore, and leave it at that. It went all the way to the dean and academic dean and aviation dean and stuff like that. So I just want nice, smooth, keeping it simple from point A to point Z, and the bookstore interrupted that from beginning to end, and I really detest them for that. The end of March, I have my interview for immigration. Funnily enough, I got summoned to jury duty for the 31st of March, but I can't do that because I'm not a citizen. So I'm like, you're a little bit early. Come back in August. And yeah, that was funny. I sent them off the notice, but I haven't got anything back yet, saying I'm not, that I'm excused. I'm surprised they didn't know that. I mean, the county that I'm in, they know me and I know them, and they know that I'm a permanent resident. So I'm surprised they sent out jury summons. I'm kind of interested to do it at least one time just to see what it's like, because I've never been summoned to a jury before. I mean, I know everyone says it's boring, you just sit there and waste the entire day, etc., etc., but the experience for one time ain't gonna hurt. I guess it's kind of like going to the DMV, which all of you guys are gonna have to do if you want to be able to fly, because you have to get a real ID. But I have a permanent residence card, so that uses that. But at the end of the year, I won't have that, will I? No, I won't have my green card. So I'm gonna have to get a real ID and oh yeah, I afforded myself the luxury of buying a new wallet because this one is falling apart and stretched out, and there's more holes in this, and I was losing money all over the place, and I tried patching it up with tape and stuff, and I was trying to make it last longer, but I afforded myself a $6 wallet, so so even though I'm a poor student, I still did it. So yeah, that's where I am currently. It feels different now. I'm on this side of the equation, basically. I'm not at the end of the student pilot phase. I'm at the start of the middle. This is not the beginning. It's not the end. My church impression. It is the beginning of the end. Yeah, I did add a couple of more videos to the Noteworthy series. So if any people that were like me before wanted to start flying, and all those videos, I learned something from them more than what the original point of the video was. And if you're interested and you're trying to use YouTube to get information and be educated before you start the whole entire process, those videos are really going to help you from start to finish. They'll give you an idea of what to expect, what not to expect. My videos, the student pilot phase, will show you that you're not alone. You're going to make dumb mistakes, you're going to make stupid mistakes, but it's a process. You're going to learn. Like the first two lessons, I see myself looking back that I was really horrible, and then I noticed I'm starting to get better. The one flight I was really nervous and worried about because of the turbulence and stuff, and then next flight, oh, it's completely nothing. I'm fine, because I had to convince myself that I know the plane's not going to fall out of the sky. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe on below. It will help me out. Go ahead and join up as an eager fan on Patreon. $1 a month. It will help with the channel. The flight videos I've seen are doing really well. I'm getting thousands of views on that, which doesn't surprise me, but I'm glad that people are watching the videos. Alright, I'll catch you soon.